Okay, I'm just going to straighten that a bit. No, that's as good as it gets, I think. We'll have a look. So that was a little tour that it will either be at the front or the back. I'm not sure because I'm not really great at doing this, as you know. But it's been such a long time since I've actually published a YouTube vlog, I guess you could call it, from myself, Terry, at the Creative Bush Homestead. You know, I'm such a novice. It's not really about, you know, getting monetized or, you know, having a plaque for my wall. It's basically something that I like doing. Needless to say, I like talking. I like telling people about what I'm doing. As you know, I'm fairly isolated. If you've watched previous videos before, you may know that I live in a small country town, which isn't a huge amount of kilometres from Perth, but it's enough where we don't have a bus service. We can't, you know, unless you drive to, you know, 40, 50 kilometres to the shopping centres, and that can be, you know, quite a long drive. And it doesn't sound like it's far, but as you get older, any distance more than 6 kilometres into our local town is far for me. So basically, I use the internet shopping quite a bit. I like doing lots of different crafts, hence the name, the Creative Bush Homestead. But it's not just me that does crafts. My husband, Glenn, is amazing. He never stops. I've come to the conclusion that we both have a slight amount of ADHD. Well, I know I have Asperger's or whatever number, autism they like to call it these days. I'm not sure. I'm quite happy being an Asp. I'm sure Glenn is as well. That's probably why we understand each other so well and get along so well, and for the last 38 years have, you know, gone through a lot of ups and downs together. But he's made some amazing achievements. You know, the house he built himself with the help of our 16-year-old son, Ryan, and then our other sons helped us with different things along the way. And Mark and Ryan helped Glenn put up an amazing side shed to the big shed that we have. And, you know, it's just been amazing. Our son-in-law was the electrician. He's still doing electrical work for us because Graham is our son-in-law, Elissa Ann, our eldest husband. Glenn has done air conditioners now, and he's done such a fantastic job. There's no way, if we had hired an air conditioner guy to come up here, there's no way that he could have done it, because it's limestone walls, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Needless to say, whatever we need doing, we do ourselves. Well, Glenn does the heavy work. I just do the crafting and designing and decorating and all those sorts of things. So basically a lot goes on here. So if you like what you see, what I'm talking about, share it with your friends. You never know, there might be things that they're interested in. I'll always try and, you know, point you in the direction of something I'm doing that you would be interested in doing, because there is a lot more creative content on YouTube where people are instructing. I've learnt so much from YouTube and the instructions that people are very, very good at. Something I tried, something I don't feel comfortable with, so hence I'll just have a chat and then I will direct people in the direction of the things I'm doing. Okay, so yes, it has been a long time. Obviously, if you saw the last vlog that I posted, I was very anxious about going overseas. It was going to be a very, very long trip, 9 weeks, nearly 10 weeks to be exact, and my anxiety levels were hitting the roof. But needless to say, where did that accent come from? I don't know. My words get a bit confused at times, but that's okay. I try my best. Okay, but needless to say, we did it. I loved it. I'll go back again because I'm familiar with the travelling, with the long plane trip to Europe. That did not faze me at all. I quite enjoyed it, actually. And that actually even sat Glenn in a different row, which I'm sorry, but Glenn is getting a real have a chat, and sometimes he just does not shut up. Now, what can I say? I have been that way all my life, and that was Siri. They listen into everything, but that's okay. My children say I can talk underwater with marbles in my mouth, and that's fine. But Glenn was never, ever so much of a have-a-chatter. In fact, if he was, I really didn't know, because he was always working. He worked virtually 7 days a week, and the only way he'd take holidays was if I sent him on a cruise. So that, you know, just made him last until he was 73 years old, which he is now. So anyway, getting back to the trip. So we really did enjoy it. We had an amazing Rhine cruise, the north of the Rhine, which I just absolutely loved it. We went to a Greek island called Calathea Falaraki on the Rhodes Island, and stayed with a really, really wonderful family at their family hotel, and beautiful, beautiful people. Hi, Sturgos. Hi, everybody there. Mick, the rest of the family. Yep, loved it. Really enjoyed it. Definitely coming back, hopefully 2025. We went to England. We went to Scotland. We went to Wales. You know, we just travelled, and it was amazing. So that was that. And, you know, staying and seeing our beautiful, beautiful children, grandchildren, I should say. Joan and Alan was amazing. And Carmen was very, very kind to put us up. So I really appreciated that. Both Glenn and I did. And our son Evan was just about finishing his teaching degree, I think it's called over there. So now he's a fully fledged teacher. And he does preschool children and a little bit below. So, and he's amazing at it. So he's an amazing father. So that's really, really great. So basically, at the moment, you know, ever since we got back, it's been go, go, go. This really has been the first time that I've been able to sit down and take stock of what I'd like to be doing over the next few months. And I'm really, really loving Amigurumi. I'm, you know, no expert by any means. As I said in the other video, there are things I'm trying, and, you know, I just thought this year I'd challenge myself with something I hadn't done before, and that was Amigurumi. And a bit of the ADHD took over, and I started collecting the cottons. I'd already had a bit of wool for my circular knitting machines, which was last year. But I've got a handle on that, and I enjoy doing that. I think that I want to use all the cottons I've acquired to do a lot of things, so I'll get on with that. And as, you know, time goes by, I'll show you what I'm doing in my Amigurumi adventure. But there'll be other things I'll be doing as well, you know, knitting with the circular knitting machines and things like that. Plus, I've got sewing to do. I've got gardening to do. Life is never dull around here, and it certainly isn't boring. So what can I say? Okay, so my name's Terry, if I forgot to mention it before. This is the Creative Bush Homestead, where Glenn and I are very creative. So if you like this vlog, please give me a like, thumbs up. And I don't know when I do them. You know, it's something that, to be honest, I have done more. But I've sat down and done a have a chat and said what I was doing. to get up and only find out that for half an hour I actually hadn't turned on the camera, and that just spins me out. So off I go, and that's another while before and I've done it a couple of times in between coming home from our trip and this particular vlog. So please forgive me if you don't see me on a regular, like once a week or on a Sunday, every Sunday. A lot of vloggers are much more committed to doing their vlogs and that sort of thing, whereas I sort of am a little bit all over the place, airy, fairy, terry. And so you may need to get notifications if you actually want to see what else I'm doing. And of course, Bear thinks there's somebody here, but I don't think there is. It's just that he thinks he's our doorbell, so off he goes. Anyway, guys, have a great day, whatever you're doing, whenever this gets uploaded. And I'll catch you on the other side next time. Bye for now. Hi everybody, this is just the area that I chose to do my crocheting, knitting, spinning, embroidery, anything that's handwork, using my circular knitting machines. So I call it my quiet room, which is what I need, quiet, especially when I'm doing amigurumi because of the counting. So that's a lovely little bag that I received from Jenna in Hangela, Germany, when I was visiting my son and grandchildren and daughter-in-law. And when I left, she gave me this beautiful little bag that she'd made, and it had crochet hook and patterns and some nice little cotton yarn in there, which I made a heart with, and just such a lovely, lovely family. So hi to Jenna and David and the girls. Miss you. And then over here, obviously, I have some wool for knitting, and then I go down to some more cotton. And there's the wool that I've spun, or some of it sock wool that I haven't. And then I have some spinning yarn in there to do, and my little electric spinning wheel. And that's my wooden spinning wheel. And then these are all the cottons that I have collected in a very short amount of time, because once I get it in my mind to do something, living in the country, I need to have the cottons here and now. Some I've actually bought from Temu, which isn't too bad. I mean, they're soft, they're milky, some are 100% cotton, some aren't. I think these are a cotton that's from Temu, and that just crochets up nicely. I'm actually doing a tulip in one of the Temus, and as you can see, it does crochet up quite nicely. It's not that much different from, I'll just put that back there. So this is my tulip that I made with the Sheepies cotton, Cotonia, I think it's called. And there's not a great deal of difference in the price, but, you know, I mean, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for friends? Are you doing it for markets? It's up to you, and then you price accordingly. So I've got a few of them that I've got ready to go. So it's just a matter of getting past something else that I saw that I wanted to crochet. Of course, these are so cute. I mean, look at these. These are Bookmarks, this little frog. There we go. We keep his head up, and he's got a long body and long legs, and he's a bookmark. And then we have the sheep, and that's another bookmark. So I really enjoyed doing them. They were from I bought them from Amazon, and the book's actually called Bookies, Bookmarks to Crochet, and it's by a guy called Matthias. And I'll see if I can reach for it, and just, sorry about that, I'm just going to go off Okay, here we go. Hopefully, no, I haven't. So that's it. So I don't know whether you can see that very well. I'm not really good at that. So that's the book, and that's all. Some of them, there's many, many more in there that you can do. So I really enjoyed doing the 2 that I have done, and I will do more. I'll just put the book down here so I can... That is actually alpaca that I've spun, and I spin it raw, and then I ply it together, and once I've plied it, then I'll give it a colour, or I'll, hate saying the word, bleach it, because I will need to bleach it. It's pretty dirty, but I prefer to spin it without washing it or anything. That's just the way I like to spin my alpaca. And this is merino, which I've never spun before, but I had a request from my son Evan that he wanted me to spin some yarn and knit him a beanie with cables. So I don't know how many years that's going to take to do, but I will get it done. I have some embroidery bags down here that if I go to craft or anywhere and I want to take embroidery, I just take it with me, and that's Sashiko, which is the Japanese. I have so many things in here, but they all are related to doing things with your hands. You know, even the circular machines, they're brilliant. I love using them. At the moment, I have some, what would you call them? They're sitting angels, they're called. They're done by, I think her name's Juju. Hoop and Home. So that's the picture that I've got, and I've got a few ideas of what to do with them. So I've got a few of those to do. And also, I love this one. I think this would make, sorry about showing you the wall, I think this would make, using the same pattern that you used for the angel, but it's called the Little Sitter. I think that would make such a fantastic doorstop. I really do. I've got some ideas on that too. So that's by a circular knitting lady called Hoop and Home, and she's on YouTube. So if you're interested in having a look at all the different patterns you can do with circular knitting machines, and there's so many people out there on YouTube that do use circular knitting machines for toys. I've just found a fantastic horse one and a fox one. So, and I've also got some velvet, so that I've got a rabbit that I'd like to do that's a bit bigger. It's a lot quicker for me. My hands don't get as tired because I'm not using big needles and things. So, yeah. So basically that's that. So I'll finish off here and then I'll come back on in a minute.